Hello, my friends, family, esteemed colleagues. I apologize for not being available for last 3 weeks, but uh, I have been experiencing very strong detox, which was very painful, and I could not find any position in which to be. As soon as I would calm down, the pain was increasing, and it started very strangely. Now, why I'm making this video? Because I have noticed that many people are going through same thing, slightly different symptoms maybe, but many of us are going through cleanse. And it may sound crazy. I am drinking plasma 22 years. I am eating correctly, more or less. I have been pretty loose this past year, but still, I did not have carbohydrates really, with the exception of having ice cream maybe once a week that has sugar in it, and eating nuts. Nuts are terrible. I know they're terrible, but we are humans, right? So let me explain. About a year ago, December of 23, second week of December, I turned yellow, and my whole body started retaining water, plasma. I even had to use diuretics. I tried first with high concentration of salt, but then I went, I need something stronger, so I went to Lasix, and for 2 days I just eliminated some extra water because my skin was tight on me. My legs almost doubled in size. So plus the jaundice, I also had big water retention. Now I explained what happened, that there was a big liver cleanse and so many toxins were flushed out very rapidly that the limited capacity of blood cleansing could not take care of it. So partially, as I was eliminating through diarrhea and through urination, and even through skin, because my skin, wherever it's a warm area, like underneath the arm, the whole area, not just armpit, but whole area, as you put arms, well, this is hotter and more liquid was going, more sweat was going out there, more blood circulation, more toxicity. I was getting bad skin with rashes and breaking them and bleeding and all kinds of stuff. And I know it's a strong detox. I got better gradually. Took me like more than 2 months before my color came back normal. Constantly having yellow urine and yellow especially stool. And then I start again not eating that correctly. You know how we are humans. So I never really completely cleanse, but not only this. I didn't take any time for myself. I was available every day, including Saturday and Sundays. And one thing what happens is that you cannot swallow and inhale at the same time. You cannot hydrate and dehydrate at the same time. You do one or the other, because those are the opposites. So either your wheel turns this way or it turns this way. It cannot turn this way at the same time, one wheel. Cannot happen. And what happens is that I was actually holding more toxins and creating new ones without eliminating what was there already. Now, you may say, well, but you are eating more or less correctly. I'm eating basically meat. A lot of it is raw. Well, I mentioned many times toxins. Why doctors have no clue about toxicity? They only look for heavy metals, basically. Well, because toxic energy is vibration that is slightly out of tune. And most of these toxins that we create that affect our lives are based on toxins that we create through our emotions. And the emotional organs in our body, it is not the heart, it is not the muscle, it is not the brain, it is the gut. And from the gut, I mean intestines, but more so, it's a liver, gallbladder, kidneys, pancreas. Those are your emotional organs running in different emotions. Me complaining, I was complaining most of last year that I have no animation. I cannot find satisfaction in things I'm doing. I love motorcycles. I have one. I was barely using it just to go buy food as my vehicle because I have no car. I was not taking any trips. I was focusing maybe 1 in 5 months just to go to the local lake. So what was happening is that when we want to detox, we have to loosen up. We have to disengage. Well, I was not doing this. I was constantly working. And 1 year later, on a day, in the second week of December, I was having a consultation and I was sitting like this for about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And when consultation finished, I wanted to shut off the video, the Skyping, and I couldn't move forward. Luckily, with hand, I can reach the mouse. I did it, but then to get up, it was like, I could not, my lower back was frozen. And I didn't pull anything. I couldn't say, oh, I pulled the muscles, or I pulled a nerve, or I made a compression of a nerve. Nothing. I was sitting like this and trying to slowly I couldn't. The pain was such that trying to stand up, supporting myself between the desk and the ridge in the back, trying to get up slowly to some cockeye crunch position with bent knees like a 150-year-old guy. Every step was creating such a pain that I felt nauseous. I felt like throwing up. And I slowly made it down. I had to go downstairs and lied on a bed. As soon as I lie down, pain was gone. And start drinking a lot of plasma, huge amount of plasma, constantly, and then eliminating, always suffering going to the bathroom. I could not sit on the toilet. That was one of the biggest problems. And pain was slightly all of a sudden shifted only to my right side. Left side was completely fine. I mean, opposite. My right side was completely fine. The left side in the back is sciatica, there, that area. But I know it's not, has nothing to do with my spine, nothing to do exactly with the nerve, other than there is some toxicity accumulated there. And it muscles reacts to it. Energy cannot flow. Stagnation of energy causes pain. And I tried to exercise a little bit, but no avail, impossible. Next day, pain on the left side was going away, but it started on the right side. And not only that, my whole quadriceps on my thigh, it started to hurt, became very painful. And then pain was shooting from the quadriceps to my groin and switching back to the sciatica, but only on the right side. Left side was now okay, completely fine, which again proved that this has nothing to do with anything but toxic load. And I continued with drinking a lot of plasma. And since I ate only a little bit of raw meat, about 100 grams, 150 grams of beef with a little bit of salt and olive oil for flavor, and then drinking plasma. So this was completely digested, and all was coming out of me was yellow burning acid. So much that my tush was burning. And mostly through cleansing through the mucosal tissue, not really so much through urine. Even I urinated very often, so maybe it didn't have time to accumulate that much. But I also had the diarrhea at the same time as I was urinating, and diarrhea was pure yellow acid. So again, it's liver and bladder. The pain was subsiding a little bit, but then it got locked. And I decided to go to see my friend, who is a healer, acupuncturist also, to just relieve me of pain a little bit. And I managed to get there after 2 weeks. The third week, I went there because before I would not be able to take the trip. Motorcycle, forget it, because if it catches me off guard, I will not be able to drive. So I had to get a taxi and take me to town. And then when my friend saw me and I explained to him what's going on, and he says, "Oh, this is a perfect description of gallbladder and liver cleanse." And then I told him about my loss of animation, loss of life happiness. No, he said, "Well, that's how it starts. It's a kidney." And the first question he asked me was, "When was your last vacation?" Of course, probably 6 years ago when I went to Cusco. Since then, I'm working constantly. And he says, "Well, this is where your problem is." Because, as I have explained earlier, when two people connect, doesn't matter if it's telephone, if it is Zoom or Skype, if it is one-to-one person contact, as soon as you connect, distance doesn't exist. And since we have neglected our telepathic abilities, we became insensitive to it, irresponsive. So we use the electronics. And once we connect like if it would be done through telepathy. We get into one each other's um, electromagnetic field, auras. So when we talk, I often hear from my friends, when we start talking, they say, well, I don't know, I was in such a pain, and now we start talking and everything is gone. Well, because we are in the same field, I absorb from you, you absorb from me. So I discharge part of your problems, of your emotions, and I charge you with some of my positive emotion. And now I need time to discharge, but I don't take the time. Because after consultation, I start answering my mails, then I answer whatever I can in comments on the videos, and then sometimes I even answer in other publications where my name is mentioned to help to clarify certain things. So I basically constantly work. So I'm holding and absorbing negativity, and I'm not taking the time to let it go. And it took a year, and exactly in a day, second week of December, this thing with me happened, that I froze in pain because of energetic stagnation caused by emotional load I carry. We have to understand that what happened to me is happening to everybody. If you are not taking emotional load from someone else, well, you are creating it. And you have to be able to relax and to allow your body to take it out, which I was neglecting. I thought, well, I'm eating correctly, so this is going to, at night when I'm sleeping, well, I was waking up more tired than I was when I was going to bed, which means even at night I was not cleansing well. And my friend then put bunch of needles, make a shish kebab out of me, especially the right leg, and going up to right torso, lower back, and abdomen. He put a bunch of needles in me, and then he went to pulsate me again. A pulsation, this concept in our civilization does not exist. But this is one technique that shamans use when they grab you here, and they, through pulsation, through your pulse, they are sensing exactly what is happening in your body. And they can make way better diagnosis than doctors can do with their old diagnostic equipment, and much faster. And not only they can do this, but they can also help you to release. So first he diagnosed me, then to confirm whatever I said, and he said, yeah, I was 100% right. This is all toxic load. And this is why he asked me when I was taking the last vacation. And then after sticking a bunch of needles in me, then he sit down next to me and start pulsating me again. And as he connected, all of a sudden he started shaking. So much toxic energy from me was coming through him, but he was right away shaking it off. That I felt sorry for him, that he is going through this. And this took about half hour. Then, he stood up and he said, okay, I opened the floodgates. So it's going to be easier now to release. He reestablish the energetic flow. And then he pulled the needles out of me. And, he puts acupuncture needle through my pants. So then when I stood up, I just carefully start moving my pants up and down in case he forgot any needle. He's laughing. He says, yeah, good that you do that because it could happen. We should always count how many needles you put. You should count how many stitches you make. So when you are taking stuff away, you don't skip some. These are common mistakes. Anyway, so after that, I felt better. But by the morning, I released again so much crap that pain came back. And since then, I'm releasing much easier. And I could not go and even open my computer because I had to leave myself at least little time to decompress, to let this energy out. And I had to make pledge to myself that every Wednesday I'm not going to be responding to anybody and anything. It will be my day. And occasionally I may have to take more than one day off because this pain I was going through, it's not fun. The problem is that it's a dull pain that does not leave you, and more stationary you become, the more you feel the pain. So to eat, my wife would cut the meat, prepare it, put it by a swimming pool on a table, and I was jogging and then grab piece, and as I was masticating, I was jogging around the pool because I could jog, I can jump, I can run fine. As soon as I stop, the pain goes. So I could not find any position, sitting, standing, laying, that I could be comfortable. And 3 nights I did not sleep. I was just twisting and trying to roll around, finding a position, and then going to the bathroom, and then after that, right away going to drink more plasma. So I was cleansing hour on hour, and finally I can sit. Still, I feel discomfort here, and it's difficult for me to stay a long time and write articles, for example, which I want to publish. So I'm going to use this video to compensate for articles, so I can make short article and in the video explaining the situation with the cleansing. Now, many of us are experiencing all of a sudden we have some offload, toxic offload that body releases it, but then releases it where? Into the blood. And then the blood has to cleanse it out, but the cleansing capacity is much, much slower than it is the capacity of releasing the toxins from the cells or from the auric field. So the blood, when it becomes toxic, will create pain, especially in the areas of the higher toxicity, which in my case was liver and bladder and kidneys. So it affected me right here, mostly on my right hand side, lower, right around below the liver and down to the leg. And at the same time, what really puzzled me, my water retention I had for years in my ankles completely disappeared. My ankles cleaned up. There's absolutely no water retention. I cannot remember last time I saw my ankles in this way. I always thought that they have been heavily damaged from my martial art, kicking and stuff. But apparently, no, it was still the toxic tissue, and now this was all brought into the blood for elimination, and this is part of the pain. Now, I mention this also because recently I just was hit by this when my friend from Serbia said, Darko, my father got very bad attack, 80-year-old. He got high blood pressure all of a sudden. It was steadily going down, and all of a sudden, phew, shut up. And blurred mind, blurred vision, all the symptoms of toxic blood. And she says, "But and I know what you are saying," because she's in the medical field as well. "I know what you are saying, and I wanted to just continue treating my father with plasma, with protocol, plasma and proper food, but the rest of the family, mother and probably sister and the rest of the family were, oh no, doctor, we need hospital." So they brought him in hospital. They make all this analysis of the blood, found absolutely nothing, which is normal. But then they put it on a scan, and they found out that he has problem with coronary artery, one of them almost blocked, and then a lot of blockages in the brain as well. So now, right away, what is response of the doctors? Oh, we got to put him on high levels of statins and high levels of aspirin to prevent stroke. Well, both of those things will cause stroke. Now my friend is saying, how can you say that what they found has nothing to do with his condition right now? Well, the condition that he was discovered is very, very chronic stuff. It's a slow buildup. And what happened to him was acute reaction. Acute reaction came because of sudden toxic offload, discharge. That affected his blood. And all the symptoms that he has are symptoms of toxic blood. I'm not saying that what he has is not problematic, but the treatment of doctors, of medicine, is going to kill him. No doubt. No doubt. Statins prevent body from producing cholesterol. When body cannot produce enough cholesterol, it will put it where it's more practical. Not even more important, but more practical. Because again, remember, body is programmed robot. It's not, doesn't have any consciousness of its own. It's not smart to decide, okay, I have a little bit, so I'm going to put it in the brain and in this artery. It's nothing to do with this. So the places that will need cholesterol the most, which is the brain, which is the heart, will not get it. On the other side, by taking anticoagulant, well, his blood vessels are stiff. So all he needs is a little harder step to shake his brain, or maybe falling down by accident or by losing a balance, falls down, shakes the brain, small artery breaks down, and now starts bleeding, and he's full of anticoagulants, so it will not stop the bleeding, and it will create brain tamponade or heart tamponade. It is going to suffocate. These are the type of strokes that affect elderly the most after they have been put on medication. Sometimes it can happen that the blood circulation is really very bad and it cannot circulate well and you get a stroke because of oxygen deprivation. But this could be maybe 20% of cases, but 80%, if not more, are caused by doctor's intervention with anticoagulants, so-called blood thinners. It's a nonsense. And of course, her father is not in a good state because he's 80 years old. He started the protocol, I don't know, maybe a year ago. He's just starting to slowly cleanse. And it shows on a scan that some of the plaques are peeling off. Now they're saying, you see, this is going to now make problem. Well, they're peeling off because the health is coming back into the blood vessel system. The electromagnetic potential is increasing magnetic field, and it repulses what is not supposed to be there. So it's a part of a healing. Doctors are going now to go the opposite way. Again, I'm bashing doctors a lot. Do they deserve it? In the past, I thought not, because I was brainwashed also, and I was doing stupid things as they are. But then I woke up and start realizing the truth and start preaching it. And since I couldn't get through to doctors, I decided to open it to the world. Everyone interested, and there are many people looking for truth. Unfortunately, when they hear it, the truth is so different from anything we know that it's not really palatable. It is very difficult to accept. So I understand, but at the same time, there are certain things which I don't understand. If you see that people are suffering from certain things that they have received, why do you continue pushing that stuff? Okay, so to me this is moronic, and there are only two explanations. Either you are really so disconnected that you don't know, which makes you moron, or you know and you don't care, which makes you evil. So either you are moron or you are evil. Take your pick. I don't like either one of those. By now, even birds are chirping the truth out. And that brainwashed doctor cannot see it. I don't buy it. I don't buy it anymore. Again, thank you all of you in medical profession who are awakening or who are awake. I know there have been some doctors and some nurses pushing in saline solution instead of the packaged stuff. And I bow to you. It takes courage to work against the system. It's not easy, but it has to be done. And I want to apologize those that feel left aside if I did not answer to their satisfaction their question either through email or through comment, because the questions are always the same. So after you watch the video, after you read the article, go through comments, because you will find your answers there if you haven't found it in the article or the video itself. It is complex thing to talk about health, especially when we are coming from a state of lies and everything we know is incorrect, but we are not aware of it. So it's not so easy to now shift. Okay, I got it, because no matter how much you get it, you don't get it. It has to be absorbed in and has to make synaptic shift in the brain. And this is why awakening is a process. You don't awake from one day to another. You awake maybe to certain element, and this is your trigger point from which your awakening starts. I use diet to awaken people. I use health. And this is why I went from the way how we are explained that body works and food, what food does and how it does it. And I'm slowly switching into the truthful quantum explanation, which is completely different. And I no longer wish to waste my time explaining vitamins and enzymes. I go straight to energy, explaining how body is electronic robot programmed with the sensors of vision, of taste, smell, pressure, touch. And our reality depends on the frequencies. Your thought is electromagnetic wave representing something. What you think about, this is what you represent. These are the waves that you are making. If you have a problem on emotional level, and a lot of people have this now, the more you think, the more emotional baggage you are making. So we are trapped in this circle. We call it karmic circle. Because you feel pain, let's say me being affected with an emotional cleanse. Well, I did not create these emotions. I absorbed them and I didn't eliminate them. But there are people who feel bad. So, okay, let's see, let's find out what's happening. So they get the symptom, they go on internet, check the symptom. Aha, this means depleted adrenals. Well, such a thing doesn't exist. Your body produces hormones on demand. It doesn't produce them and store them. When demand comes, it produces them, and produces them in level that is requested. So if you are producing less or more of some hormone, this is your immediate reaction to the environment in your body, or to the environment that your body is exposed to, that your brain receives and then runs through the program and interprets it the way it is programmed to do. And since you have certain pains, you focus on that. Okay, I have a problem with adrenals. So hormones. So how do I improve hormones? Eat this, eat that, do this, do that. This is all bogus. It's a baloney. It's bullshit. Okay, it doesn't work that way. Because when you focus on that, you are creating those thoughts. Those thoughts are your poisons. Why does a cancer, let's say from a breast, spread to lungs and spread to bone? Why does a cancer of prostate spread into pelvic floor muscle and then into bone? There are points, they are vibrating differently. So cell, even cancer cell, that comes from one part of the body cannot cause cancer in another part of the body because it doesn't vibrate the same. It has to switch vibration. And if the cell remains embedded there for a while, it can get the vibration of the tissue, but not vibration of a cancer. So everything we are being told is nonsense, putting it mildly. If we want to know the truth, we have to drop the stupid biochemistry and we have to look at the body for what it is. It's mechanical electronic robot that runs on programs which are interpreting frequencies in a particular way, the way they have been programmed. So the system is completely different from what we think it is. Immunity to disease is immunity to shift in vibration. And the only thing that can stabilize your vibration and preventing it from shifting is a voltage. Higher voltage, the more stable vibration, you can't shift. This is why if you can fully raise voltage to your cells, you can walk through fire, you can be in a fire, and your body is not going to burn. Because nothing can change your vibration. What drops the voltage? Brain activity. When is the brain the most active? In a fear. And this is why we are always being exposed to fear. Fear, 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 fear. Now we have multiple fears. Take your pick. If you drop the fear, you will see nothing bad is happening. It's all movie. Same is with our health. You have to drop the fear. I had no fear, but pain was there because there was no flow of energy. Yes, I could also simply ask for the energy to be reestablished, but I have the same weaknesses as any other human being, and 100% faith is not there because of all the other programs that interfere with this stuff. Now we are going to go through this full disclosure. This month is going to be beginning of the rough year ahead of us. Now, when I say rough year, not for everybody. The more aware you are of the situation, the more happiness and good things are going to be happening in your life this year. The more disconnected you are, and the more fear-based you are going to go through hell this year because you will have to cleanse. And when I experience cleansing, and I'm pretty clean, I can just imagine what will happen to people that are very toxic and will have to get in the program of separating themselves from the evil. Remember, Creator gave us permission slip to create. He loves our creation because He loves us. Everything that's going bad on, it's our creation, not God's creation. We created. This way, the more possessive you are, the more egocentric, the more you want to dominate others, the more evil you are, the harder experiences of detox you are going to have. So those who believe in devil, they will experience devil. It's their creation. They will experience what they planned for us. All this voodoo stuff, this is plain voodoo, is going to be happening to them. It's already happening. So, my friends, clean up. If you are Christian, be a good Christian. Don't judge others. Judge yourself. And pray for others. And this is the best we can do to help ourselves. So I apologize for being away for 3 weeks and not answering mails, not doing any articles. Even now, it's already hurting too much, so I'm going to have to stop. It's mostly what's hurting is my leg still, and then transferring the pain to my lower back on the right side. It's going to get better. Now it's getting better every day. Soon I'll start going for a walk and exercising, and that's going to be fine. In meantime, I'm going to try to answer your mails as they come. If I don't, I'm apologizing ahead of the time because there is something that is preventing me to do so. Communicate between yourselves. Find answers through my articles and through the videos. It's easier through articles because if you go to my page, which is at the end of every video I publish, is a link to my page. There in the search window, you can just put whatever is of your interest, being it a diet, being it spices, being it chocolate, being it a particular disease. Just put it in a search window, and articles where it's mentioned are going to pop out, and read them. There are, I don't know, 1,500 articles, if not more there. So always go from the newest back, because here is where I'm explaining this more clearly, because as you are waking up, so am I. Maybe on slightly different level, but still the same awakening process is happening through the whole planet. And we are all part of it. So I love you all. God bless us all. And let's enjoy this ride. This is going to be a very interesting year. God bless you. Namaste.